Hey everyone, I just wanted to come by first thing before the episode because it's a little bit longer of a one, and we don't address our Pride of Proudmoore contest until way later in it, so I just wanted to come up front right now. We are running our Pride Month themed contest, the Pride of Proudmoore. It's real easy. All you need to do is snap a picture of your character in a place that you think has never been photographed before. It could be someplace cool, someplace mundane. We just want to see you in a picture that you can then submit by either going to our Discord, which is donotrelent.com, or send it to us via email at donotrelentpod@gmail.com, or tag us in a post on our social medias, Do Not Relent Pod, on both Instagram and Twitter. Winners, there will be two of them. The second place, air quotes, winner will receive a pet. I believe we referred to it as, quote, the gayest pet in the game, but it's your discretion, any pet of your choice. And the first place winner gets a cool rainbow Murloc t-shirt, sort of, it's not Pride themed, but Pride themed, air quotes, as well as us making a donation of the price of the shirt to the LGBT Center, Orange County, which is the same organization that Blizzard is making their Pride Month donations to. So get snapping, get posing, send it on over to us, and if you do it by the end of the month, you are in the running to win some cool stuff. Okay, here's the episode.
3, 2, 1.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome back, gamers, to another episode of Do Not Relent. I'm Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And I just want to say, this is a World of Warcraft show, but guy at the back of the couch on the Overwatch announcement, who they always had out of focus, I feel for you. That was rude that they did that.
There was an out-of-focus man on the thing.
It was really weird. So they had two primary camera angles where it was the host, and then the other one was, it was like, so if you're looking at the couch, it was like parallel with the armrest. So the game's director was up front and he was very in focus, and the game's lead producer was also there, but they always kept him fuzzed out because, like, I get it, you have to fuzz someone else or else, like, it will not look good. But it's like sometimes he'd be talking and he would be out of focus, and I was like, fix it, Blizzard. My man deserves to be seen.
One of my interesting takeaways from that is that one of the new leads vaguely looks and vaguely sounds like Jeff Kaplan.
What? I wouldn't watch it. I was at work. I was getting, like, hand-me-downs. Like, oh my god, Younger Queen. I'm like, huh? Younger Queen? What do you mean? Who's that?
Yeah, they brought out Jeff Kaplan, Geoff Kaplan, and they were like, I don't know, the old one used to wear hockey jerseys, put him in a baseball jersey, and there he was.
You know what's weird? He did play World of Warcraft, and his name was Big Ol' Titties, and I thought that was kind of weirdly, like, relevant, you know? Because Jeff's name
don't say that. That's gonna you're gonna Squidward tennis balls. You're gonna get this man fired. Blizzard can't afford to have a developer whose character name was Big Old Titties.
If they can afford Tiggle Bitties, I think they can afford basically the same thing. We can get into that later when we're a little more toasty. And now we got stuff to talk about the World of Warcraft. I think, honestly, we just start with, like, what we did in WoW this week, because it's been a while, and I've been playing a fuck ton of WoW. It's kind of weird.
I have really, and I don't know if it's just because there's been a hole in, like, new content to do, but it really has been a week of progression on a number of characters.
Yeah, same here. I dusted off my mage Koragos, and he's rebranded. He's a Frost Mage now. I have a new legendary for that, and I've been, like, testing out some things, trying to gear him up.
Arcane is left in the dust. I ain't even know a single Arcane Mage anymore. Which, to be fair, I don't know a lot of fire mages either. I just think Frost is, by and large, the popular girl in town.
Hey, chill. we were once
Ice.
the three we were once the three wise mages, one fire, one arcane, and one frost. Now we got two frost bitches. Welcome to the cool team.
Cool, like actually cool team. But yeah, no, it's been fun. I've been enjoying it. Like I dabbled with it a little bit before I chose arcane, but it didn't make sense to me back then, so I was like, okay, I'll actually try now, and have been trying it a little bit. Other than that, I feel like we've done a lot of Mythic Plus on a lot of different characters. I had like 4 vaults to open this last week, which is kind of crazy. And this current week in Mythic Plus is not as bad as I thought it would be. It's what is it? Grievous and Inspiring and Fortified.
Yeah, I honestly was dreading it. Our comp that we usually play with is just not an ideal comp in general. We have like 4 druids, but 2 of them are feral.
It really is a running thing. I don't know how we found ourselves in life to be such this unoptimized group, but here we are.
And like it sucks because like it's kind of obvious. Like we do great in key. Like we have 4 20s left to get with our comp of like 2 feral druids and a boomkin, which also boomkins are bad now. Which is weird, bad in Mythic Plus. And then like we struggle and we barely get it. I get on my Warlock and I do like 5k more damage, and I'm like 13, 15 eye level lower, and I'm like, this feels horrible. Like this is so stupid.
Like I'm in a key with his Warlock on my BM Hunter, and I have like 12 or 15 eye levels above him, and I'm just like barely beating him in overall damage in the dungeon. I'm like, the second you beat me, which will probably be next week when you get like a better trinket or something, I'm gonna try to pick up a spear or something, because this is ridiculous.
The meta's really weird. Like I guess I don't really understand how Blizzard decides which classes they're gonna let be OP. Like there's 2
who is right now.
So right now,
Survival Hunter. That's the only one I like certifiably know.
So Survival Hunter is really good in everything. Destruction Warlock is ridiculous. But right behind it is also Demonology Warlock, which I will give Demonology this. They're normally not very good. Normally it's kind of just Destro, and I'm an Affliction main. I love Affliction, and it's never fucking good. It's always absolute dog piss.
Yeah, and that's the reason I'm not really mad about Survival having, like, it's probably first time ever in the sun, really. Like, I've never known Survival to be anything than the weird one that's on the side.
Yeah, before it was the Martial class, I don't remember a single person. Like, I remember playing a Hunter in 2015 and being like, whoa, Survival, what's this? And being like, ugh, yuck, gross, moving on.
Was Survival Hunter always called that, or was it just Rogue that had their name changed?
What was the rogue name?
Hang on, there's a fucking police parade outside.
Well, while you're being held hostage by the fuzz, yes. If from what I remember, at least from 2015 onwards, I do remember Survival always being the thing. I remember the symbol used to be like a flaming arrow or something, and there were like fireworks shots. It was weird.
Yeah, because I know that, like, Outlaw is what was changed. It used to be named Combat Rogue or something like that.
Is that the only spec to have changed names on this? Like, what? Because it changed while we were playing it. And that's got to be monumental, because there are probably Combat Rogues in classes that are like, I'm not a Combat Rogue anymore. What the fuck?
Do you think it was because the other rogues felt bad? That it was like fighting rogue, and the other two are like, well, what the fuck do we do?
I mean, to be fair, I always confuse the other 2 rogues, so, like, whatever. Also, one of the Subtlety, is that the one that's also, like, really, really good right now?
I couldn't tell you. The rogue classes, that's one of my biggest mysteries. They're all yellow, and they all do something where they go invisible, and I don't know what the hell they do.
I can tell you. Subtlety is one. It's about stuns and going invisible. Assassination is the other one. And that's about, like, poisons and stuff. Resident rogue guy over here. I am pretty serious on Gelbin, too. I can be your gateway to the rogue world.
Like, you joke, but you've been on him a lot lately.
I love him.
I guess it does make sense why they changed the Combat Rogue name when you have Assassination. Yeah, I assassinate people. What do? I just fight them. I don't kill them. I just kind of scrap a little bit.
I mean, that's what, whenever I see an outlaw, that's what they're doing. They're putting a lot of fight up, but they're not killing. Oh, suck it, Cubby Bub.
Another one that's changed since we've been playing is Warrior lost something, right? They lost Gladiator.
I think that was a stance. It wasn't a spec. A tank. They had a gladiator stance where like they could change how they fought, which I think is. I want that back. That's cool. Like
That's what like I always wanted to. Like I just want a sword and board class, and they were technically a tank, but they were DPS, right?
I think we didn't play back then, but that's my knowledge, and I think you could play as like I think that's what it was, right?
No, we played with that still. Like when we first in Draenor, it was still at the end of Draenor. I believe it was still there because I distinctly remember on my hunter I would try to pug heroic Manaroth because I wanted the bow from him, right? And a tank would always queue up, and it would be a warrior, and the warrior would join, and then they're like, "Are you Prot? Or are you Gladiator?" And then they're like, "Gladiator." They're like, "Okay, we'll find another tank."
Because I remember Miss Booty ATW over there was messing around with that kind of shit too, weren't you?
Well,
weren't you tanking
she was
for a little bit.
Well, she was. Remember, I was back when DNR started and we were all children. I was the de facto tank for a long time. So she was always protection. I'm sure Gladiator did exist as a subset of one of the other things, but I did not delve into anything other than protection until way down, until Legion.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny thinking about like our old comps that we've DNR's origins. It was you on some kind of tank, either it be like a monk tank or a warrior tank, and then I don't remember. Slide, were you on your paladin?
Slide was
back
a hunter.
At the very beginning.
He was homozygous, I believe.
I feel like I was probably playing like a million things because I had my max levels were my paladin, my mage, and my hunter. I think I had another one up there though. Well, what was Little Quinoa doing?
What is Little
Nothing.
Quinoa ever doing? But yeah, then to round off our comp, we had like Yabiag on a druid, and then I think this is back when I first started playing priest, and I was disc back then, but that was like before when it was completely different.
We're old. We can officially say that now, guys. We are veteran WoW players. I think we've earned that stance. We've been playing for, are we 4 expansions in now? 5? 4? We're 4. 4?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Wow, it is 4 expansions. That's nuts.
You know what else is nuts? I did mythics on characters I don't typically do. And I even did a 15 on Miss Booty ATW. And it did not go disastrously.
Was I my warlock for that one?
Yes. It was a Tazavesh Streets. It was a 15. We did it in time. And then we did a Halls. And the Halls kicked our balls. But the Streets was very good.
Yeah, we've just been taking people on 15. 15s honestly feel so relaxing, which is such a weird thing to say because I feel like we used to struggle so hard. And even when we had gear, like I feel like we're like the most mechanically sound we've been in a long time. I bet 15s are cakewalks. We took Lynn through a 15 on his eye level 178 warrior.
Yes, it was very much a bragging point, or not a bragging point, but just his PSA was like, literally everyone needs to do 15s. I did one on a child, like as someone who just dinged 60, and we made it through.
Yeah, he had like the most cryptic way of telling us. We're like, Lynn, do you want to run a 15? He's like, yeah, well, I'm on my warrior right now. Is that fine? And we're like, yeah, what's his eye level? And then he said, well, I have 2 or 3 236 eye level pieces. And we were like, oh, what does that mean?
I turned to Immune and I was like, okay, so he has a pretty garbage eye level because that's not a way you answer that question. Yeah, I got a couple of 236 pieces. What about it? What? That's not what I asked. But it's fine. I've been saying it for years being like months. I finally tanked something after saying I wanted to tank something for a while.
Yeah, we ran a few dungeons as 15s with your paladin prot tanking, and they overall went pretty good, I feel like.
Project's really fun, and this is another class where I'm like, why does Blizzard allow them to do 11k damage like I'm a tank? Like, why am I beating out some of my DPS on this? Like Like I should be doing like 2K DPS.
I have a theory in my head that they still have a deep love for the what used to be faction specific classes to like really make them cool, because they used to be really cool back in the day, and they never took off their buffs.
You know,
like
wow.
Like Paladin and Shaman are really beefing for, I feel, no other reason than being like, we really want people to be Paladins and Shamans because those used to be the exclusive classes.
I think you're onto something here. I mean, like, I will preface this by saying all tanks overall are doing a lot of damage right now, but I definitely think you're onto something with, like, Shaman and Paladin are never, like, the worst. Like, they're always pretty good.
Immune says all tanks matter.
No, I'm just saying, like, on the DPS meters, they do right now.
And I agree. And my favorite example, I love Paladin. Paladin is when I first played, my first Alliance main. Something that always happens with Paladin, and something that I've seen since the very beginning. When I first picked Paladin in WoD, people were like, Paladin's going to be shit in Legion. Paladin's going to be absolute garbage. They changed this button. They changed their abilities. And you know what happened in Legion? When Legion came around, I switched my main from Paladin because the Paladin fearmongers told me to. And so I'm like, okay, I'll play something else then. Paladin has had the same fucking story this past 4 expansions. The people say it's going to be shit in the beginning. The beginning happens. It's not shit. It's actually really, really fucking good. And then people slowly realize it by patch 0.2. By the second patch, they're like, oh my god, Paladin's so good. And everyone's like, it never changed from its original iteration.
All those fair weather Paladins out there.
Papa Cheese was saying it when Legion went to BFA. Paladin's gonna be shit. I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure that's the one where I'm kind of fuzzy on, but I'm pretty sure it was the exact same as it was. So I was like, I should be playing a Paladin, like I always should be. But Prot is really fucking fun. I love Prot. I just feel like a superhero. I'm throwing my Captain America shield, and I'm throwing like 15 of them at a time. And the sound, it makes a sound when each one connects. So, like, my fucking ears are ringing like Minister Frollo in Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're just bong, 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 bong. That goddamn Hunchback up there ringing my bells.
No one talks about the fact that Paladins really benefit from their best in slot trinket, which is the illustration of the Romany woman who is driving them to sin.
That's basically, yeah, like, they're one and the same.
Every Paladin has a shield, a hammer, and a thick rod, which is their hard-on the sinful woman who is driving them to cheat.
I think one of the best things, though, about playing Paladin is I finally get to see all the shield transmogs I've collected, because I don't get to see that shit otherwise. I don't play a Shaman. I don't play a... Is that Prot Warrior?
Yeah, Prot Warrior, Protection, Paladin, and Shaman. Those are the 3.
It's crazy. It's a disgrace. There's just so many cool fucking shields. I'm having a great time. I have not switched back to Ret in like a week now, mostly because when I changed to tanking, I had to change my conduits, and I don't have to do that again for a while, but it's fun.
It also gives our group a little more flexibility, and I feel like Ahoy is happy about that, at least.
Yeah, one of my main goals was to avoid Mythic plus burnout, because if we have the same 2 people, Myth and Ahoy, tanking every dungeon, they're going to get tired. So I'm tanking, and let me tell you, by the 4th dungeon, I was tired. That's just honestly really boring. Like, it's fun to hear like their bong bong bongs, but I'm just like, okay, I'm sitting here, okay, face the boss away from everybody, okay, and wait for them to kill it. like that's it.
I mean, I guess you interrupt, but that's about it.
I wish I could return to the world of tanking because it was interesting enough for me, but it was just too... I just need to go baby mode at first. It was too much pressure. The anxiety got to me.
Dude, I still feel that. And because like I don't want to have to be the one that's like, we're going to go this way. I don't know what way's best. I have just been looking like, okay, do I pull this? And they're like, yeah, pull that. And I'm like, I'm just making sure because I don't want to. Because then when they don't tell me, I end up pulling 3 packs and the 3 pack pull a 4th pack and then we die. And then I'm like, well, I guess I shouldn't have pulled that extra pack, but I thought we could handle it. Because like I zone out completely. I'm stealth as a druid normally. I don't have to deal with like threat. So when are you gonna start tanking for us, Immune? That's the real question. When's
Yeah, come on. When's Vados coming back?
Imagine if I like brought back a second druid just to tank on it.
I mean, honestly though, with how stat distribution is, that's probably one of the classes where it makes sense because you could do Pharaoh Guardian on one and you could do Boomy Resto on the other one.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I feel like my next goal is to challenge myself by trying a melee DPS, so I just need to figure out which one that is. That's my next goal after I gear up my mage, I feel like.
Okay, so guild stuff. We killed another boss, which we can get to that in a second. But we've been trying to drag these people, our raid group, through Mythic Pluses for so long, and it's like pulling teeth. People think that it's like people have the anxiety that Aaron has about tanking, but they have it about DPSing, and I'm like,
I would say they have it about just being there, and it's just like you don't even, not to be like you don't even need to care, but like just hang out with 3 to 4 people who have done this a bunch, and we'll get you through a 15 in time.
we brought Lynn, a 178 warrior, through a 15, and we timed it. We had like 8 minutes left. We had so much time. Listen, you don't even have, you could just stand there and we can kill it. We like to do keys, and the guild doesn't like, I don't think they understand this, because when I brought it up, Ash was like, well, I know you guys normally do your 20s, and I was like, I don't want to do the 20s. I want my portals, but I want to do 15s because they're easy and fun. And I was like, look, like it'd be easy, it'd be cool. And then he just gave like 3 other excuses, which is fine. Like I think he's just nervous about like fucking up and getting yelled at, because when you pug, that's what happens, right? Pugs are gonna be fucking dicks to you. And so I think there's just like a lot of like PTSD about pugging, and I'm like, guild keys are just so different. But how do we tell them this without being like rude?
Or weird about it. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just pester them enough until they agree to come, and then they'll see that it's okay.
But then we're being annoying because we're pestering them, and
yeah, I could easily see that misconstrued as like, oh my god, these 4 or 5 guys, they're being bullies, they're pressuring us because they think we're not doing well enough. And it's like, I mean, sure, you could do mechanically well, but if you do these, you get higher gear, you get better stuff than just hanging out with us at raid.
Yeah.
Which is the thing I've noticed is like heroic raid, where we're at, literally cannot give you gear that is a higher level than just doing 15s. So it makes sense at this point it's the next logical step to have to do Mythic Plus.
No, and that's why we've been like convincing people to come with us, because we're like, literally just do 115 with us, and then you'll have a 278 in your vault, which is better than anything we will ever get from raid.
And then it'd be so painful. Like I think people think that we're serious mode, and I'm like, bro, like I literally like I farted into the mic and I pulled extra things for fun while going wee. Like we're completely dicking around in these keys. One key we died like 13 times because we tried to pull some packs like on purpose to be like, Ahoy said, let's see if we die. And we died, and we still cleared it with 2 chests. Like 15s are so easy. We could legitimately sell carries, and I think it's a problem. I think everyone is selling carries. There's so many people selling because it's so easy. Somebody was selling, and I whispered them to ask how much, and he said 60K, I believe is what it was. So like what? That's not a lot. It is.
Well, that's not a lot, but it's a lot. I feel, and once again, not to drive home the point we've been saying, that's a lot for a 15, which really is a pretty minimal amount of effort.
Because of what? 60K if it pays 4 people. So 80. If it was 80K, each person would get 20K. Okay, this is how I do math. Okay, so then if it was 60K, then Immune will tell me the answer right now.
15. Everyone gets 15K.
And that's how I do math. Somebody else does it for me.
I throw the ball up like it's a tennis serve, and then someone else on a calculator comes and finishes.
That's how the world is. People lie to us. You're not gonna have calculators all the time to do math, bitch. Yeah, I am. Get out of here, Mrs. Susan.
If I'm really in a situation where, like, I am forced to not use my phone as a calculator if I need to, I have a lot of questions about what happened for me to get into that situation.
Where am I? Am I in Gitmo? So, yes, keys, easy. 15's easy. Raid. We killed Rhydalon as a group. We did it.
Woo, we finally did it. Uno Mas has cleared Rhydalon. And we are on to the final boss, Zoval the Jailer.
Yeah, the other raid team, got their AOTC, got their achievements done, and they're done. So luckily June is kind enough to join us, which definitely helped, I feel like. And now we're progging on the Jailer. I feel like we only had like half of a night to prog on the Jailer, and I feel like so far we made some pretty good progress. I'm almost want to say that we might get close to killing him next week.
I believe it.
I think we'll get pretty close. June is a saint because if there's I do not blame anybody in the other group for not coming to our raid anymore. Because they are done, right? So you would think, oh, they'll help out the group. Jailer prog is just not fun. It's just not fun to wipe at least 60 times minimum to get the fight right. It's horrible. So I get it. But June is I'm gonna help you guys. She's healing for us, and then Sin came back from his 3-week vacation, and then she DPS'd for us. She's doing both really well. Thank God for June.
Also something on my mind. I just want to say that one of the main problems in our last prog on Heroic Jailer was still the fact that people would get mind controlled. I feel like we very quickly remembered that, and overall I feel like we've been pretty good at that. So I feel like we're progressing quickly through phase 1. We're into phase 2 reliably. We've gotten to phase 3 several times, but that's not really a testament of anything, because you just get to phase 3 if you aren't able to stop the pillars. So you're supposed to drag out phase 2 as long as you can. So it's just the fact that we failed to drag phase 2 out any longer, and then we made it to phase 3, but technically we made it to phase 3.
So for phase 2, okay, so phase 1 is mostly DPS getting their shit right. Tanks for the mind controls and stuff. Phase 2, I guess the pillars too. Fuck, dragging the thing to the pillars. But phase 2 is mostly tanks. They have to bring their soak to the pillars, and they have to break the pillars. Is that what they do? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then once the pillars outpace the tanks and make it to the center, then we transition to phase 3, I believe. Which, it's inevitable, but the tanks can make it take a lot longer, and then we do more damage in phase 2. Also in phase 2, the runes no longer need to go in the hole, so the DPS need to bring them up to melee or close to the center, because people are speedy when they're mind controlled to run off the edge.
Yeah, damn, I guess you're right. Because I was going to be phase 2 is pretty tank dependent, which obviously any fight is tank dependent. But I guess I forgot the speed mechanics, because if you fuck that up, you're just dead. You're fucking cooked.
I say it's no longer that you're fighting your friends. It's just when you get mind controlled, you do a KYS.
Yeah, the Jailer tries to make you run as fast as you can, which is faster than most classes are physically able to, I'm convinced, off of the edge and jump off and KYS, right?
I also love that when he mind controls you, he'll fuck with all your fucking buttons. So if you're a paladin and you have on the aura that blocks damage, what is that called? I'm a paladin. I can't even tell what that's fucking called.
I could not tell you.
Devotion aura. He'll turn off Devotion aura, which gives 3% damage reduction, and he'll put on fucking Crusader aura, which is mounted speed. Zaval's a fucking troll.
Or my personal favorite is when I'm on my hunter, and if I get mind controlled, then he's like, yes, I am going to immediately target the nearest druid that's in cat form and cast Scare Beast.
It's a fucking nightmare. I've been scared beast by several hunters across 2 different raid groups, and I'm sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it.
If it makes you feel any better, I literally do not have Scare Beast on my bars. Like, I would, if I wanted to use it in any other instance, I would have to open my spell book and use it because I
was about to say, my man Zovi hits P. It's like, oh, let me go through the page to see what he's got.
We're not confusing, but we're muddling with the mind controls, right? Because the first phase mind controls is the one where they fight us. Second phase mind controls, they don't fight. They just run. They just fucking run.
Yeah, they just kill themselves.
Which also, hot tip, if you're a druid, well, I guess if you're a feral druid mostly, you can change your forms while you are running. So if you want to be a dick, you can go into bear form, and you could activate your conduits, and you could be hardier for them to kill you. I don't know why you would do this, but if you want to be a troll, there's some advice for you.
If you just want to be a little goofster and just really set everyone back a little bit.
You could go travel form. You could run faster. Oh my god.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you're in a silly, goofy mood, just like change into your travel dough and literally sprint the fuck off the edge.
Bah. So that's what dough sound like.
I trust you. You are the animals, man.
Exciting stuff. I think we are pretty on pace, honestly, for our OG Phoenix Fusion guild to get this. We have some people that own 2 keys. That's holding us back a bit, but that's always kind of our problem, right? I feel like gearing is always like the crux of our issue.
I also feel like this is the first time where doing Mythic Plus, or not, like, I guess not doing Mythic Plus, really hurt your gear more so. Because I feel like in the past, just raid drops would keep you on pace with like a corresponding level of difficulty of dungeons, or for a while in our WoW career, like just getting heroic drops from raid would be better than anything you could get in a dungeon. So this is a weird circumstance now that like if you aren't doing your 15 or 4 or 8 in a week, you're falling behind. And I feel like our group is definitely feeling that.
It's really it's the catalyst creation. Yeah, you're right. That's doing this because in any other raid tier that like, well, fuck, Legion had tier, right? And Mythic Plus, but you couldn't turn Mythic Plus gear into raid tier, so your raid set would always be optimal. So you'd be wearing like fucking like 245 gear because it was better than whatever the max level was in Legion. But yeah, now that we can catalyze, I think people miss that step. I've been saying it a lot a bit, like just do dungeons, you get a 278 chest, you turn it into a much bigger chest piece. Like that's it. And like combine that with this being like the hardest raid in the past 4 expansions, like for sure.
Yeah, no, we've said it time and time again on here, but I just think it's very true. This is the hardest tier that we've had to raid in. So, you know, I guess props to everyone who's cleared it. Props to us for almost getting there.
I mean, you can see the numbers of guilds that have cleared it. It's not as much as it's been like for other ones.
No, and we've been like progging heroic for at least 2 months now, right? So it's hard.
Keep hanging in there. If you need any help, let us know. I just like raiding on random days. Like 2 weeks ago, I raided like 6 days out of the week. 6 days. I wanted a 7th day, but I needed a day of rest on the Sabbath.
How Christian and upright of you.
Thank you. Hi, gay.
Speaking of a nice... Hi, gay.
We're sashaying away with Growl on the Prowl.
There you go. That's the outro.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back to this, my little slice of heaven, located at what seems to be the 1/3 mark of this week's particular show. I'm sitting here with my big friend, Poo Boo, a Pandaren with glowing eyes and a huge axe. Pooh, some folks have said that big guys like you shouldn't have huge armor and axes like yours. They say kung fu's all you're good for. What do you say to that?
Well, I can't say I disagree, but I do wish I could throw some punches in this armor.
I will say that's not the answer I was expecting out of this softball question. I was engaging in what we call a bit of gonzo journalism. But now I've got a scoop.
What do you mean?
I don't want to wear leather robes or dresses, because I like my big spiky armor. But I do honestly want to throw punches and kicks. Pandaren kicks look great.
I cannot argue with you there.
So I'll keep swinging this axe, because I have to as a DK. But I'll dream of the day I can finally just tiger punch stuff to death, LOL.
Well, I'm rooting for you, Boob. Much like how I'll be rooting for the boys on the next half of this episode.
Thanks, Growl. Time to go on to the second half of the program.
Welcome to part 2 of episode... what episode? 189? 183 of Do Not Relent.
Maybe if one of you guys ever had your show notes open, you would know.
Excuse me, I am sitting here with my big thrifty goblet of meme juice, sitting here in my underwear because of the heat wave, and I'm pretty far down this bottle of meme juice, so I cannot be bothered with any sort of structure. Spontaneity is my goddess tonight.
Well, what was your excuse at the beginning of the episode, then?
Take that!
Pretty people don't need to give excuses.
My excuse is, Immune, we both have dual monitors, and I can always see the outline on his monitor. Now, does that mean I could find the number of the episode in time? No. Is it a me problem? Yes. It wouldn't matter if it was there or if it was here. I'd be like, where are we?
I also have something else to point out. He is currently breaking one of our major rules on this show, and he is currently in-game. Well, I assume it's because he has something he wants to talk about, but like that does not excuse this behavior today, Mr. Slidewhistle.
And that brings me into the next topic of topical segues. Why I'm logged into WoW right now. So you see, what had happened was mission tables are fucking back, baby.
Wait, were they ever here to begin with?
They were. For a brief amount of time, you can get an add-on that would give you the percentage of how you would clear a mission table or not, because, you know, the person who made mission tables didn't fucking think to include that when they fucking made this. It's like, well, you know.
Auto chess was all the rage in 2020. We can't judge those past fools.
Well, I still don't understand any of like why they put it in here, because this is not even auto chess. Like, I don't know what the back minion does. I don't know what and like it's funny because like I'm doing it on 5 different characters now because it's so easy with this new add-on that I'm gonna talk about later. That they're giving me a tutorial on how to do it, but it's so long. It's the longest mission tutorial, and the problem is they make you wait 30 seconds for your tutorial, right? And then the next one takes 1 minute. And then the next one takes 1 minute. You made me wait 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And you want me to read like 3 paragraphs of how to work this table? Absolutely not. I'm done.
I just don't understand why they thought this incarnation of the mission adventure tables was like what they were going to do. Like, I just don't understand. Like, we've put a PSA out here on this podcast before. If you are a person that knows the ins and outs of this and actually watches the entirety of the encounter of all of your missions, let us know, because like
they're
you
probably
need help,
just finishing up. Like the first ones they did in 2020 are probably just wrapping up now.
I just don't get it. And the fact that the background is just this gray slab. I've been doing Lord stuff in my garrison, and I've been doing Ashran to get my gladiator bones for my titles and stuff. So, you know, I'm waiting for Ashran, so I'll walk into my garrison and I'll go do my like ships, and I'll do my OG mission table, the animations, the backgrounds, just for the boats. The whole table sits on like this vast ocean with boats in the water, and then when they fight, there's like explosions and there's sinking ship sounds. There's nothing here but like headbutts, like Pokemon headbutts, where the guy just like moves forward an inch and goes, huh, and hits him with their whole body.
That was my big thing, and the only other auto chess I had seen was when I lived with Tyre, he did the League of Legends one, but they had little models and they did little things. And then WoW was like, okay, let's copy that heat with Pogs. Like circular pictures of the bad guys that bop into the bad guys. And it's like, why? You weren't first. Why do you insist on also not being the best?
It is just Pogs, dude. I never thought about it. You're 100% right. You have the grimy sidewalk and your Pogs on them.
I will say, yes, they are Pogs, but it's definitely not Pog. Certainly not Poggers.
Poggers!
Anyway, the whole point that I'm logging on right now, I'm doing my mission tables again because I no longer have to do any kind of thinking. This is a PSA for anybody out there that A, is subscribed to World of Warcraft. Is that you? Continue. If that's not you, I don't know, skip like 5 minutes. You can get so much gold. You can get so much resources. You can buy mats and sell it. I think it's mostly gold that you can get. But I've been getting runes for alts, and I can do it in like literally 2 minutes with this new add-on that's called TLDR Missions, which, again, the name is fucking perfect.
Also, I want to say, Slide and I were former WoW Up heads because we didn't want to be part of the whole, like, what is it?
No.
Overwolf, Curseforge
Have you been
thing.
beaten into conformity?
Yes, because my game was lagging because a lot of my add-ons were not being serviced anymore because of the whole drama associated with it. So yes, I did use the very handy Wowhead link of how to download and install just Curseforge, supposedly, without any Overwolf involved. That's what it is. It's called, right? Overwolf?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm so mad about it. I mean, like, because when I was like, why? Like, we were doing a 20, and every frame would be like it'd be a slideshow, like, and I'm like, I can't see, like, I'm gonna get punched by punched me and I died, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. And so I was looking into it, and I got the thing. I had like 26 add-ons that weren't updated, obviously, because I don't have an updater. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get it. I can uninstall if I need to. I really hate that they're like winning this fight, because, you know, if we're doing it, everyone's doing it, right? We're normally the strongest willed people, but we had to for this one. But let me tell you, it's actually, even if you don't do it, or if you want to download TLDR missions by yourself, it's 100% worth it. You can claim all of your missions. Like, say that you send out 15 missions, right? You can claim all of them with one button click. You press click missions, and it gives you all your shit instantly. You don't have to watch any animations. You don't have to press any skip buttons. Because sometimes if you skip too fast, you don't get the rewards, right? It's like, oh, no, hang on. You didn't watch the first 3 guys hit the thing first.
Is that a thing? They're like, dude, we put a lot of work into this little Pog Slam animation. You don't get your anima on this one.
I think it's less like a deliberate thing, more just like the system doesn't know how to work unless you watch.
Yeah, if you go too quick, it's like, we didn't even load your prizes. Guess you don't get them.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But TLDR will collect them all for you, and you can prioritize like the things you want. So right now for me, like there's 12 items: gold, anima, follower XP, pet charms, augment runes. Whatever the table has to offer, you can sort on what you want, like first, second, third, fourth, all those 12. And then it will calculate how to send the most efficient mission to do this in like an instant. And you can start it and you can send it off. I'm doing this on 5 characters, and it takes me like not even 10 minutes to send them all off at once. It's so efficient that, like, not using it, you're just losing gold for free, basically.
Honestly, I'm glad that I installed this too. This sounds like an ad, but it's not. I'm just so happy because, like, Myth suggested that we use it, and I'm glad that, like, I have it now. It's so fast because I've been doing missions on my hunter probably for like the last 2 months now, and I went from having like 2k gold to now I'm currently at 80k gold after buying like 20k's worth of gold legendaries for my mage. So like it's all passive and easy. I mean, I guess I have also been doing callings mainly to get anima, but also callings give like a decent amount of gold as well.
This sounds like a multi-level marketing ad. I swear to you, it's not. It's a good add-on. Use it before Blizzard breaks it because it's so efficient. I actually am worried that they're going to see an uptick in people doing missions, and they're going to be like, why are they doing missions for? What's going on here? Oh, they're getting good gold from this add-on? Break everything. Because that's what happened with WoW.
Well, I can tell you that that's going to happen right now because I've had Overwolf over my shoulder as we've been recording, and I've been pointing at your two profiles, and I immediately turned around and told Mr. Overwolf, send them to the principal's office immediately!
Oh my god, Aaron has become Randall himself.
All I'm saying is they keep my thrifty goblet full of meme juice, and I'm willing to sell any of you out to continue this murky purple flow.
Since the last time you heard my voice, I just sent out 13 missions. That's how fast it is. It's so
that
quick,
is
and
frighteningly
they all
quick.
will pass. They will not fail. It only sends them if it's going to be a success, unless you press the button that says. And then, finally, if you want to send followers to fail for experience, click this box. And I'm like, what? You're so good, you can even choose when you fail?
I mean, but then it also warns you too, which is nice.
I got the anima to pay for my fails. I don't care. Just send them all off. Have them do something, please.
Well, enjoy your freedom before the authorities come to arrest you. Ian wants you to read all the dialogue. Far be it from us to deny him his wish.
You know what else Ian wants me to do? He wants me to pull a fucking time warp and not have this linger for like another 10 episodes like I normally do.
Oh my
Are we gonna have to name Ian Hazakostas' family? Because I don't know any of them. Sarah, Bethany Hazakostas.
Slidewhistle wins the time warp.
Sorry, Aaron, it was a trap.
Well, normally I'd be in a spot of trouble, but Overwolf has provided me with this goblet of meme juice, so down the hatch.
Okay, well listen up, guys. You have 40 seconds to... Wait, no, actually... Sorry, I'm drunk. I am not doing a traditional time warp this week. I'm doing a game of some kind.
What? We've been grifted?
And it's a game where I'm going to quiz you guys on Ardenweald food and drinks. So you might be familiar with there is a quest in an achievement rather in Ardenweald where you have to consume a certain amount of food and beverage. So I'm going to ask you a series of 4 questions that has 1 real Ardenweald food and beverage and 2 fake ones. So I'm going to ask you guys to name the real one.
Can I put in a request to name this game right now?
Yes.
My request for this game is Arden real or not?
Perfect. Ship it. Send it. Love it. Okay. Are you guys ready to play Arden real?
And let me
or fake?
let me get out of my Kyrian mission table. Okay, I'm good.
Yes.
Okay. Round 1. We have... I'm going to present you with 3 options. 1 is real and 2 is fake. So try to name which one you think is real. We have Winter Berries Ale. We have Glitter Snap Snow Peas. And we have Frost Dew Berries.
I want to put my answer for the real one as the winter one. What was that winter?
I gotta go with the snow peas personally. Winter Snap Snow Peas.
Okay, so Aaron chose Glitter Snap Snow Peas and Slide chose Winter Berries Ale.
Fuck, I'm worried. I think Aaron might have gotten this one actually.
Aaron did get this one right. The correct answer was Glitter Snap Snow Peas.
I was like, that's too witty for Immune to think of.
Oh fuck, that's a
No, that's a
Rudington
good
point.
name.
I
You
almost
don't
say-
think Winter Snap Peas is good?
No, I'm saying that I believe that my good friend Immune.
All right.
Could have done that. The
Okay,
only
you
reason I
don't need
picked
to
snow
cozy
peas-
up to me to win this. You're already ahead.
Also, they added Arclight Rumble to the WoW launcher recently. Look at this. This is the buttons here now. I'm looking at it right now when I hit WoW.
Wait, it's
I'm
not
ready
just
to be a
it's,
shill.
It's not just a mobile game?
That's what I'm also confused about because, okay, so it says scan the QR code with your mobile device to pre-register. They're trying different avenues for advertisement. Sorry, back to the game. This is a distraction.
Back to the game, round 2. Ding, ding, ding. We have poached stalker eggs. We have grilled spark shrooms. And we have glazed glowberry.
Oh my god, I have 2 options. Aaron, you go first this time. I think you get first pick.
I gotta go with option 1.
The poached stalker eggs.
Okay, so
Yes.
I want an option 1, but now I don't want to make him a copycat because I made him go first. So I'm gonna go with option 3, which is my backup option.
Was that the glazed glowberry? Or the grilled spark shrooms?
The fact that you don't know makes me think you know what? Option 1 is what I'm picking.
The one that Aaron picked?
Yeah,
or?
I'm picking what Aaron picked.
Yes.
Oh, well, both of you guys are wrong. The correct one was the glazed glowberry.
Fuck! That's it's option 3. It's what I'm picking. God,
They would never smush their eggs. I should
I
have
was
known.
reading too much into Immune. I need to focus on the name of the product, not Immune looking at me in the eyes as he reads these questions.
Okay, so Aaron is up 1-0, and we're on to round 3 of 4. Okay, so here we go. We have Rune Saber Flank, we have Midnight Star Peppers, and we have Torched Fairy Melons.
Midnight Star Peppers is my pick.
I need to go with torched fairy melons.
So Slidewhistle has won this one. The Midnight Star Pepper is the correct one.
That's a fun one.
Damn.
And you know what's funny? I have eaten these foods for this achievement, and I could not name a single food off the top of my head.
You know, it's funny. I abhor the Arden Wheeled experience. So even if I ate all these, I could not tell you a single one.
Okay, so I think we're tied, and hopefully this one will break it. I mean, you guys could choose the same one and fuck it up, but we'll see. We have 3 options for you. We have the Wild Hunt Flask, we have the Candied Bright Bark, and we have the Plum Fay Pie.
I'm going to go with... What was number 1?
The Wild Hunt Flask.
What was number 2?
The Candied Bright Bark.
I'll take number 2.
For the sake of competition, to have a winner and a loser, I will choose the Plum Fay Pie.
And Slidewhistle is the winner of this event with the Candied Bright Bark.
Sucker, I knew what that one was. I just played it, so you would pick something else. Now you have to drink alcohol.
Oh, no. Fuck. I wish I could... Oh, hello, Mr. Overwolf. More meme juice. Thank you.
Overwolf!
I'm ready to, because he's provided me so much meme juice.
This is neither here nor there. Aaron, your favorite Call of Duty game, which one is it? Of all time.
You know what? I'm shitty. I'm a suburban white kid, so I gotta break it down. Story, World at War. Online, Modern Warfare 2. Zombies, Black Ops.
Okay, great answer, by the way. I 100% agree with you. World at War is my... when you said that, a little cum came out of me. I love World at War. However, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has been announced for...
I did see they the modernist Warfare 2, and the only thing I'm going to say, being an old head who was there, if we are not knifing guys from 75 yards away or having rainbow shields on our back with old school shotguns, it is not the Modern Warfare that it used to be.
I kind of want to play it, and I have this love-hate with Call of Duty where I'm like, it's just fucking...
Are they still... you know what? They do accept Xbox controllers, and I am still white, and I am technically suburban, so there is still interest in my heart if someone played with me to play the Duty.
It comes out October 28th. If you, Immune hates this conversation.
That's enough. That's enough time to fuck with my head and play it. Immune. This can be Monster Hunter 2.0. Immune doesn't have to play with us. We could sneak away and play it.
Y'all have convinced me to buy 1, maybe 2 Call of Duty games, and I did not really enjoy either of them. And if I had to contribute to this conversation, I would say that my favorite one would be Cod Blops, just because I could call it Cod Blops.
That's fair.
Cod Blops was great. Cod Blops' story is a close second, in my opinion, to World of War.
I do feel like you and shooters just don't vibe. I had to pull you into Overwatch. You weren't vibing with it like 100%.
No, and I am eternally thankful. It's the best thing that's anyone has ever done for me, because there would not be an Underwatch podcast without this.
Tony would be without a job if it wasn't for you pulling Immune in.
I'm just saying, if Overwatch was the best thing that happened to you, maybe Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 will be the second.
No.
Aaron, come on, we gotta trick them.
I'm not in the business of lying to you. It won't be as fun.
Listen, the main reason I like Overwatch, and it's technically an FPS, is because it's really not. Like, it's the least FPS there is, right?
It's a hero-based, team-based shooter that I feel like the only other successful one is Team Fortress 2. It's its weird side group. There have been other ones, but
that brief 2-week period that I played Paladins.
Yeah, shout out if you want to play Paladins or you want to play Lawbreakers with me.
Okay, this is an actual question. Why have we not gotten a Call of Duty World at War 2? Did it not sell as well? Is the interest just not there?
They technically did Call of Duty World War II.
That's not the same.
They returned to World War II, and
but
no
it
one
has
liked
to be called World at War. That's what World at War fans are waiting for.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Call of Duty corner. I'm just going to play the Russian theme in the background here. It needs Viktor Reznov. If Viktor Reznov is not in your game, I don't want it.
I just want to have...
Which is why World at War and Blops
I just
are the
want to
best.
have a dude wearing like the most stereotypical like marine fatigues with that netted helmet on his head, charging forward with his beautiful... I almost said baton. It's not the right word. When they have a sword, bayonet. I want the bayonet guy.
Their M1 Garand bayonet. I want to feel the thunder of a Thompson with a drum magazine.
I've never felt more white and straight than when I played World at War. I loved every minute of it.
That really was the Bradley Chadley white straight suburban kid experience was playing World at War.
Honestly, this is a side of Slidewhistle I've never seen before, because he's not white at all. So, like, this is the confusing part to me. But anyways, I will say, I'm ending this conversation right here, because it's really, honestly, straight up homophobic that you guys are having this conversation in the middle of Pride Month, which brings me...
What if I said, really quickly, so this is a really quick aside. I used the Wii Zapper, which is probably the gayest thing you could have used in Call of Duty. It was the Wii Zapper.
And if you asked me my opinion when I was playing World at War in the 7th grade, I would have agreed that was the gayest way to play. Now, it may not have meant the same thing as what your statement you just said, but I also would have agreed.
Okay, I take this back, because literally the gayest way you could possibly play Call of Duty is with a Wii nunchuck.
Is on the Wii.
Or on the Wii in general, yeah, probably. But yeah. That reminds me, we are currently having, I mean, if you're still listening at this part of the podcast and haven't already submitted a submission to our Pride of Proudmoore Due to competition, feel free to send it to us literally any way you want to. Most people are doing it on our Discord at donotrelent.com in the Pride of Proudmoore thread, where you can post a screenshot of yourself in game at a location that you believe no one's ever taken a picture at before, like your most secret spot.
Get those pictures in. Listen, it's like being in the closet. This secret spot is like a closet spot, and you have to expose it for us to figure out where it's at. It's not really a puzzle game, but...
We're also not telling you to expose people who are in the closet.
No, absolutely not. But metaphorically...
Yeah, please do not.
Well, I think it's about time for us to bring out another sexiest NPC of the week, boys.
Oh, it's been a long time. It's been sour long.
You know, we say that every time, and I feel like that's a very, very niche reference, I'm realizing, because the other day I was trying to find a clip.
I literally don't know what it's from.
I was trying to find a clip of Emelina making her debut, saying that everyone's waited so long, because she's Australian, for her new debut as Emelina, which is supposed to be like sexy Emma.
I only know it because you say it. So in my head, it is a Do Not Relent immunization reference.
I mean, at this point, it is, right? Because I literally cannot find a clip of it on YouTube.
Yeah, so Emma was a wrestler who rebranded as Emelina, but she had promos for like literally 6 months where she's like, I know you've been waiting for so long. And everyone's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? And it's like, it's me, Emelina. And we're like, is that Emma? Or are you a different woman with a similar name? We don't know.
Anyways, you guys have waited so long for another sexiest NPC of the week, and we're gonna bring it to you this week, baby. We're naming Time Captain Hooktail as sexiest NPC of the week.
She's got those curves that make me feel like I'm stuck in time.
And you know, for a decent portion of the fight, we kind of are. And she not only wants to, like... Okay, first off, I would say, location, check. We're, like, on a beachfront. It's romantic. But also kind of sexy because she's like, I'm gonna...
Importantly, a beachfront in Borealis.
Which, sexy city, favorite city, love it. But then she's also like, you know, if you want a little something more exciting, I'm also bringing all of my, like, 25 closest friends and crewmates to, like, fool around however you want to.
She's bringing the Coltiran rowers. They're there. Former sexiest NPCs of the weeks are here to row alongside her.
And honestly, the sexiest thing to me is you're making love to this cavalcade of gentlemen and big, beautiful booty dragon. And if you feel like you're lagging behind, she's like, all right, men, time for double time. And I can tell you, experiencing double time live there in the pile of boy is quite the experience.
Oh, like, double time with even if, like, one or two of those boys, it gets wet and wild up on that shoreline, let me tell you.
Our dragon is a captain? That's sexy.
Our captain is a dragon, too.
Our dragon is a captain! We're so happy for her advancement.
I can finally confirm that there's 2 voice lines for our captain is a dragon.
Is there?
Yes, so when I first started it, I swore up and down that there was a man that said it originally. Our captain is a dragon? And I'm like, that's a man. But then once I told Immune, he goes, no, it's always a woman that says it. And I was like, no way, it's a man.
I only ever heard
so
a man.
then, for like literally the past 3 months, I've only heard a woman be like, our captain is a dragon. And I'm like, I must be absolutely insane. There's no man. Then finally, about 3 weeks ago, I heard the man say it. They alternate, and it must be random on which pack you get. They have gender neutralized the mobs before Captain Hooktail. How fucking great is that? That's amazing.
A true Pride Month treat.
They've recorded 2 voice lines, and I can only assume changed the models that are present at the fight.
That's the thing I didn't know, because, and granted, I usually focus on the dragon because she's so incredibly attractive, but I had only ever seen Coltiran men, so I guess I have to keep my eyes open.
And you know what's wild? You know, as exotic and sexy as this Time Captain Dragon is, you know, she can speed up and slow down time as she pleases. At the heart of it, your sexual encounter with her is still very much so a traditional dragon. Like, traditionally having sex with the dragon. And by that, I mean, is if you are behind, she will wrap you up in that tail.
Which is such a shame, because that is the one place I want to be on this beautiful lizard.
And it will hurt. It will hurt so fucking bad. It almost kills you all the fucking time.
And it will hurt so good.
You know, if you try to like go at her from behind, she's like, I will wrap you up and peg you.
And also, not only is she sexy, but this is a smart dragon. At the very beginning of the encounter, one of them mentions that they're seeking a relic that's an artifact of the Black Empire, which is N'Zoth's empire, which is the old god stuff. So not only is she going back in time to be a pirate with Borealisian people, she's also done her research on which things to steal at what time. What what is the thing that she's stealing? Like that the Black Empire had.
So it's the relic of the first ones that Celia was stealing. So Celia took it from her.
So, but she took it from her. But so N'Zoth had this in his Black Empire grasp, and when we killed him, it was just like dropped as like loot, basically.
Or she swooped in and grabbed it before we even came to him somehow, I guess is what it's implying.
Because like, okay, so we're in Borales, but like, we don't necessarily, like, we get into a portal and we're in Borales. We don't have any like time-space explanation of like where we are or how we are.
Well, our explanation is that we're following Celia, who is tracking this relic. So that's why we ended up there, because Celia somehow knew that Time Captain Hooktail had this relic.
But Celia jumped through time. Or because it's a time dragon, she can manipulate whatever she wanted to. You know what I mean? What if it's a portal opened that she traveled through earlier that Celia followed through, and it's a time portal to the past? Infinite dragonflight is what she is.
That's crazy. So, like, is she, like, the only... She's, like, one of the few infinite dragonflights that we've faced recently, all right?
We haven't faced one since Cataclysm, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Was Vexiona a Void Dragon?
She was Void, but Void is different from Infinite Dragonflight. Void is purple, Infinite is black, and, like, whitish sometimes. Khadgar was eating Immune's headphones, if anyone was wondering what was going on there.
Yeah, I turn over, and Khadgar's on my desk, because sometimes he tries to act cute on my desk.
Not the wizard, our cat.
Yeah, our cat, who also is a wizard, I guess, was trying to eat my headphones. So, fuck off.
He's an agent of Hoken Time Captain. What's her name?
Time Captain
Time
Hooktail.
Captain Hooktail.
Captain is a dragon. Anyway, she's hot as fuck. You can't she's wearing that pirate hat all the time.
Our captain is a hoodie. Our captain is a hoodie. She's gonna be the sexiest NPC in the world at the top of us.
Oh my god, you know her boys would come to support her at the awards. They're gonna take over the fucking crowd. They're gonna come swimming in from all fucking angles.
It's gonna be so unfortunate when they enter double time and they're just demanding more and more food. And it's like, my metabolism is so fucking fast, you need to get me more snacks. It's like, oh
I
god.
just realized, do you think she gets really sad when she kills them? She kills her own crew by breathing fire by accident on them. That's depressing.
I feel like dragons are, like, all-powerful enough that they probably don't really form that much of a connection with their crew. Like, they're probably just like, whatever, these are my minions. And it's like, oh, whatever. It's a liability.
Hey,
I
listen.
don't know, because every so often when you're in that fight and you have her breathe down some of her men, she goes, oh my god, this blows. This is awful. I hate that I am doing this.
If Caligos can fall in love with Jaina, I think she can fall in love with a Borales sailor. A rower, sorry.
I mean, haven't we all at one point or another?
She's like, Carl, no! Carl, no! And that's how you beat her. You know, you kill her husband, Carl, in the water.
She's so heartbroken from you killing 48 of her husbands that she just lies over and dies.
All right, well, Time Captain Hooktail, your awards in the mail. Is her name a Paper Mario reference? Do you think that was like obviously Hooktail dragons are a thing, but isn't Hooktail a Paper Mario villain too?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he's the one that makes you sniff his paw.
Yeah, you gotta sniff get real close and lick his paw.
She almost does that.
If you want all of his money.
Not gonna lie, I fell for that trick as a child.
I only got 1,000-Year Door when I was an adult, and it was like, come over here. And I was like, excuse me, sir, I am 21 years old. I am not going to be sniffing
Aaron's
your paw.
no Goombet.
Goombella to you.
I don't know. I never played it.
You tattle on Hooktail, and Goobella's like, oh shit, maybe we should do it. I do want to get a big whiff of that stinky ass paw.
Yeah, that wet paw there.
Wet paw. Shout out to Dark Hall. I'm Proudmoore. It's another sister guild of ours. Anyway, now it's time for our top two, bottom boot, medium moot. I will go first with a top two. Also, I've just thought of a really horrible project to go back and figure out our statistics on top toot, bottom boot, medium moot for us 3 hosts. Like how many? Like I'm probably more
I'd
top
rather
toot
die.
boosted, I think, than everybody else.
You know what's funny is I literally have statistics about every other segment that we do in a Google Sheet, but not this one. So
What is the breakdown? How many bottom boots have I given?
The only thing I will say is probably we are top toot heavy, if only because for 1/5 of our career, that was the only option.
Oh, that's true. How many Ohugas are there total? Like, who knows this stuff?
I mean, most of them are probably from you.
Where? Okay.
Yeah, you are the only person who's
I'm waiting for the wiki to have our random stats updated. How many times we've said Chili Mac? How many times we've talked about gay frogs? All that stuff. Anyway, my top toot is very simple. I am tanking, and I'm really enjoying it, which I never thought. I am not a tanker. I do not like to be the person in front of the group telling you where to go in dungeons. In real life, I do that all the fucking time. But in dungeons, I just want to space out, watch some K-pop, and play like a AoE spec where I can kill everything immediately.
Which is funny that you're maining Feral then.
I'm laughing at the implication that in real life, you tell people where to go. Like we're walking down the street and you're like, move left.
Okay, I definitely don't do that because I don't know where I'm going half the time. But it's great. Prop Pally is OP. I've realized now that also my Mage Tower, guys, don't forget, Mage Tower is a thing. We can get book whenever we want, and I have
You can get book whenever you
well,
want.
that's what I'm saying. I have like 6 alts that are like max level, and that I have like muscle memory is learned in my head. I play my DK to do my like callings, and like it was like I had never left it. I knew all the buttons. I knew where everything was.
What's crazy is that like you've raided in Shadowlands on Alan, but I forgot until just now that Alan was a thing.
I haven't played Alan for literally like 6 months minimum. And when I played him, I was like, how do I grip? And my middle finger was like, middle mouse button, click it now. And I was like, click, grip, whoa, let's go. Like, it's amazing. I'm loving it. Aaron, what about you? What's your top toot, bottom boot, medium moot?
I gotta say, I also have a top toot this week.
Toot!
Toot!
Add it to the stat list.
It's very simple, but it's just that I am happy that I have 2 to 3 characters I am seriously Mythic Plussing on. This is surprisingly the highest amount of attention I have simultaneously put into characters during the entirety of the Shadowlands. And it's nice to weirdly be multi-plugged in right at the end of it. I guess that's the benefit of knowing there's a definitive end, is you're like, well, I don't need to like power level my main. I can care about other people now. And it's nice to do so.
I was going to say, okay, so when you're at Booty, I was like, what's your eye level? Because like, I don't know what you're doing on Booty. Like, not that it mattered. I could have been fine. And I was like, okay, well, you know, he has max fall on his mage, whatever. You're that first pull, you were doing so much damage, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? You always like, you always tank.
And I wish I knew. I always play, like I casually played on Booty, and the other day I checked with Enlightened. She's almost max, and I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? So I guess I've always been leveling these guys in the background, but this is the first time that I'm like, you know what? I'm proud enough to bring Booty and Gelbin 2, because sorry, Wigglestein, you are not coming.
Well, if Jamonkey's still listening to this podcast at this point, Jamonkey, if you heal, I can tank, Immune can DPS, Growl can DPS, that's all we need. That's it. We can do dungeons with that.
I mean, we would need another DPS, but I feel like that's easy to get.
I'm a prop pally, it's fine.
He's a prop pally, it's fine. Speaking of fine individuals, Immunization. What is your TTBBMM?
Oh, blushes. But I also have a top toot for the triple toot, baby.
Add it to the list.
Triple
this
toot.
is our blank triple toot as a podcast.
Some fool is going to go and actually compile
Don't.
this. Hey, you
Stop.
listener, don't.
It's not worth it.
We're joking. Don't listen to our episodes more than once or even once. Who knows? But anyways, I have a top toot. And my top toot is also alt related. I've been having a lot of fun on my mage, retooling him as Frost Mage. I stumbled a little bit.
Korgos is a real tool, am I right?
I mean, I've been stumbling a little bit on trying to figure out what legendary is. I think I technically crafted a wrong one because I was originally Necrolord because Necrolord was good for Arcane back when I last played him.
Yuck.
And then I realized that literally only like the top tier like Frost Mages that are doing like 25s, like that have their tank that pulls with them accordingly, that's when Necrolord Frost Mage is like bis.
Wait, what's the best one?
Night Fae. So I've started retooling him as Night Fae. I've got a new legendary. I've watched OK Mage's guides on YouTube. Shout out to her. Like, it's been really helpful. I've just been having fun though. It's nice learning a new DPS spec, although yeah, technically it's another range DPS, which is why, as I said earlier, my next goal after I start like feeling a little confident on this guy is I need to find a melee DPS. So if anyone has any suggestions about what melee DPS is easiest for a normally strictly ranged person to wrap their head around, let me know.
Feral Druid.
I feel like that's probably not the case, but maybe it is.
Well, you don't have to be in melee range at the very least.
I mean, I guess technically Fury, based on exclusively my experience as a long-range guy, Fury Warrior for no particular reason. They've got a lot of heals that help you stay alive. That's helpful.
It's probably survival, because survival also lives in the same space that Feral does, where like you don't have to be in melee range, but you can do probably a lot more damage if you're lucky. Let me tell you, I've beaten many survivals in my day, and if you can beat me at survival, I'll give you my badge.
You know, I mean, I did say earlier in the episode that I would pick up a spear at some point, so that's also on my possible to-do list. I did assess that, and I would have to move some things around. My legendary for BM is on my feet, and I don't have any boots that can replace it, so I have a lot of work to do before I can actually possibly have a survival build going, but it might be in the cards eventually. We'll see.
You know who else is surviving out there? Our $5 a month patrons. Right? I guess technically this is the benefit for 3, but we don't have any $3 a months. So these are the people who have paid for it. We have Tajurla, chaotic, bifactional.
Oh!
Fourth host of the podcast, Jamonkey. Ahoy Vince, a.k.a. Nathanos, killed himself to see Sylvanas and she won't even pick up the phone. Insync / Drag Race. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Joe No Nips Dorno, Gershom the Grail Master.
Oh, that's a new one.
It is. Hoax asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vanderlyle, who asks, what the fuck, Richard? And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, trade chat's fallen father.
When are you gonna read the $1 patrons? Because I think they deserve some recognition, you know.
Shout out to Slidewhistle and Matt Tang.
Let's go, baby! Matt Tang and me!
It's a small army, but
We're out there punching shit in the fucking face.
We literally don't have any $3 a month patrons. Not saying that anyone should heighten or lower their patronage, but it's interesting.
I think that's for us to do market research on. And if you want to join our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/do-not-relent.
Obviously, everyone just wants to listen to our $5 exclusive bonus episodes. We aren't recording one this week, but every other week we have one for you guys, and we're pretty drunk on them and talk about whatever you guys want us to talk about.
If you think I'm drunk right now, you should hear the bonus episodes and the stuff we say, because you get honestly probably too much juice. I think it's a little too much juice, but that's the way we like it. Anyway, so you can send us an email at do-not-relent-pod@gmail.com if you have anything to say to us, literally anything. Some of your balls, I don't care. You can tweet at us at do-not-relent-pod. I mean, hated the boss comment, I can tell. What about you guys?
Don't sound your boss.
Where can we find you guys on the internet?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex. You can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent. You can leave us a review anywhere on like Apple Podcasts, on Warcraft Radio podcast directories.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitter.com. Read the show's literary musings at do-not-relent.livejournal.com. Watch me on Twitch. I play video games at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. And I just want to say right here at the end of the episode, don't send us your balls.
Yeah, actually, I don't want to see that. Unless they're like,
I don't want to see. I don't want to see vajingles either.
well, I mean, unless they're like,
and honestly, and no toes either, no legs.
what?
Anything south of the Mason-Dixon, don't send us.
Whoa, wrong. Send us south of the Mason-Dixon, but skip Mason, go right to Dixon. Thighs down, we're good.
Legitimately, do not send us porn, please.
Yeah, thighs down's not porn. That's his body. That's human anatomy. You guys are just prudes.
Send us knees exclusively.
No
please.
me's. I don't want any fucking me's in my goddamn inbox. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.